Welcome to the circus. Like, share, comment, subscribe.
I know. I guess I'm a little late to the game here when it comes to uh, giving a thoughts on Chris Cortel. And I think there's quite a few people who knew Chris a lot better than I did, and knew him a lot more than I did. Uh, but he had a fairly big impact on my life, at least when it came to model building. And it really started when I stumbled across Classic Plastic 101 or CP 101 on Facebook. That's where I first ran into Chris Cortel. I had just started coming back into model building. This is back around 2014 or so. And I was going to various Facebook groups looking for a place to fit in. And some of the groups were just really, they were not very friendly. They were not very welcoming. A lot of critical analysis, not even critical analysis, right downright trolling people who were just, everything you did, you had to suck, basically. But when I came across CP 101, things were different. The site was inviting. The site also was encouraging. It was there to inspire. It wasn't there to criticize. It was really there to make you want to build. And I think that's really what Chris Cortel did. He made people want to build. He made people want to come back to model building. Most of us were, adults. We were coming back to this after, careers had started winding down or the children had left the house, when we finally started getting a little free time in our life and looking for something to fill that void and, and rekindle a love of our childhood, which was building models. And like most people who built models as a kid, you had that one specialty that you really liked to do, but you probably dabbled in everything. It's like you had the planes hanging from the ceiling, you had the monsters on one wall, you had cars all over the place, you might have had a military diorama here or there, and just it was like the kid's mind was, you would look everywhere and it's like, ooh, that looks cool, and you had to have it, and you would have to buy it, and you'd have to build it, and you'd get that glue bomb built in a weekend. And as an adult, you wanted to finally go back and fix all those problems that you had as a kid. And it seemed like Chris Cortel was the person who helped you do that. He helped you. He encouraged you to go back and look at those things and see how you could improve on it and do things better. But also, it was one of those guys who would, you would see him looking at problems that he was having with a build and come up with a solution to it. He was always finding ways to come up to a solution to a problem that he had. And he also kind of made you feel like, you can challenge yourself. You can actually find something that, I always wanted to do this as a kid, but I was afraid to do it as a kid. But now that I'm an adult, it's like, it's only money. So what if I screw up a $20 kit? Look at how many kits I've got in the stash. Look at how many kits I have in the boneyard. So what if one more kit ends up in the boneyard? And that's kind of the way I felt with when I started building and with Chris Cortel's thoughts on it. So it really did hit me hard when I found out he had passed away. And it was really strange because he was working on that Cyclops kit, and I was following it, and he put this thing up. And he said, and then what he was going to be doing with the next update. And I was waiting, and then it's like, has YouTube turned off notifications again? And I went, and a week had passed, and there was nothing. and I left a comment on the last video that he did, and then later that night I found out that he had passed away, and it was just it really was like a kick in the gut that and it really felt like, you know, you had lost a friend. I had never met him in person, but it was just like, oh my gosh. And then to find out that he had passed away 3 days earlier, it really gut wrenching. It really hurt. But I can look at these kids here, and I can see a little bit of Chris Cortel in all of them. And so when I was listening to Dirk Pitts of the Pneumophile, he was talking about Chris Cortel, and he was so spot on with so many things that he had said. And he also mentioned somebody would be doing a tribute build. He knew someone would be doing it. And I had commented, well, as soon as somebody does, I'm going to be jumping in on that. And lo and behold, Moonwalker announced one about a week or so ago. He'll be hosting it. And he's doing it the right way. It's like, build anything, just build it for Chris. And he said, build as many as you want to build. And he gave the time period that it would be running. And well, I'm in 2 group builds now, but any other build that I do will be after these 2 group builds are over. They're going to be going into the group build for the Chris Cortel tribute. And there's 4 vehicles right now that I know I'm going to be building. Will I get them all done in time? I don't know, but these are the 4 kits that I'm going to be building for Chris Cortel. And if I don't get them done on time, I don't care. They're still going to be built for Chris Cortel. And the first one is the Land Rover Series 3 109 long wheelbase station wagon by Revell. This I'm building because it's one of those things that I tried to do this numerous times in the past with other kits. And what I want to do is I want to turn this into a safari version with the zebra stripes and everything. I've tried to do this on 3 different occasions in the past, and every time I failed miserably, mainly with the paint job. And part of the reason is I really did not have any good photos of the way those safari vehicles with the zebra stripes looked. But now that I have those, I know I can build it right. So I'm going to be building this Land Rover as if it was out for an African safari. So that's the first build I'm going to do. The second build that I'm going to work on is the Barris Custom Raider Coach by AMT Ertl. And this I'm building because it is going to be part of my Glue Bomber circus. I had been looking at a way to incorporate an organ into a vehicle, and then I saw this kit online, and it's like, wait a minute, this already has an organ incorporated into the vehicle, and so I can turn this into my circus bandwagon. The front part, the part that's the power system on the front, that's going to go away. I'm going to have this towed by another vehicle, possibly a hangman. I don't know for certain, but the rest of the Raiders coach is going to be like a trailer, which is going to be the bandwagon for the Glue Bomber circus. Next up, there hasn't been a Tom Daniel group build in a long time, so and one of the things that really got me into Chris Cortel's channel was the fact that he was hosting or co-hosting the Tom Daniel group build, and the Snoopy's Flying Ace, which is right here in the middle, was the very first vehicle I built for the Tom Daniel group build. The next one I built was the 1/12 scale Red Baron, and then well, there's every Tom Daniel kit I've built since those kits was anticipation of a Tom Daniel group build. No Tom Daniel group build happened for a while, but I was still building them anyway. So the Tijuana Taxi is going to be this year's Tom Daniel group build, even if I'm the only one in it. And that is, again, thanks to Chris Cortel. And finally, my fourth kit that I'm wanting to build as part of a Chris Cortel tribute is the VW T1 camper by Revell. This is out of Revell, Germany. It looks like a wonderful kit. All of the Revell Volkswagen kits have been just fantastic kits as far as I'm concerned. This one looks a little ambitious for me, but you know, I've got to just get off my duff and take a shot at it and see how it comes out. I've been wanting to build this for the longest time, and it's something that just needs to get done. And hopefully I can get them all done before time runs out. But if not, I think Chris would understand, and he would say, build them anyway. I think that's the way he looked, and that's, I think, one of the reasons why the Tom Daniel group builds were always open-ended. It's like, start the kit on such and such date, get it done as soon as you can. And I know the Chris Cortel tribute build has an end date, but if I don't finish them in time, I'm going to build them anyway. Any case, with that said, I will let you go. I know I rambled for a while, but well, Chris rambled for a while sometimes.
Thank you for visiting Toby's Glue Bomber Circus. If you liked what you saw, please consider giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with your friends, leaving a comment, and subscribe and ring that notification bell. Really do appreciate it. Thanks again.